time to play 30 Seconds of Fame. So 3 sports bloggers compete at their chance to rant about anything that they want for 30 seconds on national television. Let's meet today's players. First up is Miranda Furtado. She's the creator and editor-in-chief of BabesDigBalls.com and is also entertainment editor for Canada.com. Next is Tom Yawney. Now, he's a story editor over at TSN and creator and editor-in-chief of Unsportsmanlike.ca. And finally, we have Scott Lewis. He writes for Drunk Jays fans and contributes to a whole whack of other blogs over at thescore.com. Competitors, are you ready to compete for your 30 Seconds of Fame?
Let's do it.
All right. So question number 1. Former NHL tough guy Derek Bogard died 2 years ago, but his family has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the NHL. Does his family have a case? Miranda?
Yes, they have a suit. Do I necessarily agree with it? Probably not. In the lawsuit, it actually says that they failed to keep him reasonably safe. But hey, let's talk about his brother that took him out drinking before when he was taking controlled substances. The only people that are winning in this case are the lawyers.
Tom, what do you think?
All right, well, I think he probably does have a case, but I'm pretty sure Gary Bettman's not going to actually let him get to that point. He's probably going to pull a Monty Burns and have about 35 high-priced lawyers from Manhattan show up and just try to intimidate them out of the room, because if you let Bogard, if you open up Pandora's box, all of a sudden Bob Probert's family might have something, Wade Belak's family might have something, and so on.
Great point. Scott?
I do think they have a case. I think it was an NHL team that paid him millions of dollars to punch faces, and it's NHL team doctors that prescribed him hundreds of pills over a couple weeks. Some pills that he had overdosed on he had bought illegally, but still the fact remains if he was in care with an NHL team, they are responsible for his well-being.
Sensitivity for the family. I like that too. Okay, question number 2. So Kobe Bryant recently tweeted, and I quote, "Thinking about getting a little more ink." So what I want you guys to do is draw Kobe Bryant's next tattoo. I'm going to give you a pad and pen, and you each have 15 seconds to draw what you think Kobe Bryant's next tattoo should or will be. Contestants, start drawing. Time is up. Miranda, let's see your drawing.
This is Kanye West in his man skirt, a mert, if you will, singing Gold Digger. And this is Kobe's mom with a pot of gold because they're currently in a lawsuit battle, and he's claiming that she stole merchandise from him and is trying to sell it. And yeah,
That is a whole lot of stick tattoos.
I can't draw.
I love it. I love it. Tom, let's see yours.
All right, so I'm not much of an artist. I went simple here. I need Phil Jackson because we all know Kobe's got 5 rings. He wants that 6th. He's gotten all 5 with Phil. He wants to catch Jordan, who got 6 with Phil. And anytime he's played for a different coach, Rudy Tomjanovich, Mike Brown, Mike D'Antoni, hasn't worked out at all. He needs Phil Jackson.
I love it. And you can't go wrong with a classic heart tattoo.
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
Bicep
And he could wear it with pride. He seems like the kind of guy that he would rock this with pride.
There's nothing
Wouldn't work for me.
he does without pride. That's one thing for sure. Scott, let's see your tattoo.
I went with a very unreasonable facsimile of the Charlotte Bobcats logo, which, if Dwight Howard elects to leave via free agency, Kobe would like to see him go to Charlotte.
Right.
That's the next ink.
Good memory. All right. Let's move on to question number 3. This week, all the major U.S. networks had their upfronts where they unveiled their new shows to the media. Now, which athlete would you love to see get their own show, and what would that show be? Miranda.
This is pretty easy. I want to see Jose Canseco and the Iron Sheik together in a room. You can call it Keeping Up with the Crazies. I can't get enough of their tweets, and they already tweet every major athlete out there, so you already have a superstar cast set up. It's a win-win situation. I'd watch that.
Tom?
I have to say I would watch that too. That's pretty awesome. But I'm going with Dustin Johnson. Reason why? Dating Polina Gretzky, the spawn of the great one, the best hockey player ever, and a Playboy playmate. I want to see that. All she does is gallivant around LA, Vegas, dressing in nothing pretty much and partying her face off. You gotta see that.
I'm addicted to her Instagram, so I am watching
Everyone
that
is.
too.
How can you
Yes,
not be?
absolutely. Scott?
As much as I'd like to see the show with the Iron Sheik and Jose Canseco, I would rather watch Titus Young, disgraced NFL wide receiver, traipse around America and try to get arrested more than 4 times in 1 week.
Essentially, you're making a new Bad Boys. This is what's going on. Awesome. Well, thank you all for your answers. It's time to decide, and unfortunately, I am going to say that, Miranda, I think that you were the weakest link, so you're going to go to the shame zone. She ate the popcorn. Let's move on to round number 2. So Adult Swim just announced a new animated cartoon show called Mike Tyson Mysteries, where Mike Tyson is taking the fight from the boxing ring to the streets by solving mysteries. Will you be watching this new cartoon?
Listen, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be brutal, and the plot sucks. But I would watch him walk down the street. It's Mike Tyson. This guy was the baddest man on the planet, knocking out everybody. And now you trust him with your infant child. Now somehow he's done this complete turnaround, and he's this like softie. And what is this gonna be about? I don't know, but I'm gonna watch.
I would watch Mike Tyson play lawn darts. I'd watch him play croquet. So I'm definitely going to line up to watch him solve mysteries in animated form.
Awesome. I can't wait to see his animated cartoon character. This is a really tough choice, but on a whim, I am going to say that, Scott, you are the winner. So unfortunately, Tom, you have to go to the shame zone. Wow. Scott,
yes.
You have won. 30 seconds of fame is yours, and so is the floor.
Okay, I gotta have at it for Toronto Maple Leaf fans that believe that this year's making the playoffs was a success. You have a goaltender going into next year that's never played more than 37 games. You have Clark MacArthur, an unrestricted free agent, who you're probably going to pay someone a whole lot more money to do less than he did. You don't have a first-line center. You have your top 4 defense is more like a top 2, and your top 6 forwards are more like a top 4. I'm sorry, you just don't have it.
Ouch! Wow! That was a very strong opinion. Agree with him or disagree with him, you can definitely go and tell Scott himself. You know his blog and you know his Twitter account. We're now going to go to Mark McMorris. The kid is barely legal and making millions of dollars, and he has a lot to say.